Alright, we are live now. I'm just going to wait till it looks like we're good.
Alright.
There we go.
Oh, I thought we're live in 10 minutes, but I guess.
Nope, we're live now.
Nah, you gotta
Okay.
keep everyone on their toes.
Makes sense.
Is it working? Yes, it is. All right. Oh wait, why did it reset? Oh, okay. All right. Hey guys, welcome. What are we doing again? Oh yeah, Springfest. We're here to talk about
Wow.
the Texas Spring. So what has? How long has it been since? Dude, my brain is dead.
2 weeks?
2 weeks? Yeah.
I think 2 weeks exactly.
Yep. So we're here to talk about our Texas run. For those that like follow us around and stuff, we got second place. Joined here with the second place team, which is myself, Carmen, and Hanson, and then Dan, which bubbled out. Dan, what did your team end up placing?
We went X2. We were what? 10th?
10th? Yeah.
Yeah.
This,
hands.
was this one of the few events no one got kicked out of top 8 for deck check failures or something?
Honestly,
I don't believe so.
No one failed. It was cringe.
That was pretty cringe.
Like, I forgot who they were telling me about. Toronto, I think it was, where there were 3 teams that failed deck check.
3 teams?
Because so like top 8, 2 teams failed, and then whoever was 9th place failed as well. So they had to get 10 and 11 or something like that.
Wait, when was Toronto?
Toronto?
Not Toronto.
Not Toronto.
Someone.
Ontario, CA.
Ontario.
Oh, California.
Yeah.
Sorry.
As if
I
that
keep
could
on hearing
be-
Ontario and think
Yeah.
it's fucking Canada.
I also think that, especially
So like I
because
see
of
Ontario,
California.
Canada. Can't remember what fucking city it is. Sorry.
I
I'm
see
stupid.
Ontario, CA, and I think it's Ontario, Canada, because I'm very dumb.
Me too, because Ontario ONCA is pretty common apparently.
I said turn up your volume, Kit, in chat.
Oh,
Mhm.
my volume?
Do you see that?
Yeah,
you
you
said
are half our
yours.
volume.
Really? Oh, okay. Hold on.
So, I'm really hoping that Canada does get some events this fall.
Yeah, me too. Toronto is Pittsburgh's closest regional. Fun fact: it is closer than any other region by 2 hours. It is only a 4-hour drive to Toronto.
Having a regionals inside of your hometown is pretty pog.
Yeah, that's awesome. I wish they'd do Pittsburgh for regionals. It's a popular location for both Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
So it's weird that Bushiroad also doesn't take advantage of it. It's a pretty good hub location for what is it? Midwest and East Coast.
All right. Hopefully my mic is good now.
You sound louder even here. So
Okay.
You are louder, but you're still kind of quiet.
Oh, hold on. Fuck you guys. I'll fix this. Is that better?
Yep.
Yeah,
There you go, buddy.
All right. Interesting.
All right.
That was weird. All right. What were we talking about now?
We're talking about how we want Bushy to expand the cities they go to. Carmen saying Pittsburgh is a really popular destination, so it makes sense.
yeah,
to go
for
there.
Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh. So
Mhm.
it's always used for SCGs and YCSs.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be interesting if they actually moved cities every year, a couple of them.
Or move a couple of them or add new ones, things like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, adding the new ones is always good. Just gotta make sure there is the player base, because I remember there. What was it? Was it Panama or something this year? Had 8 people show up to the team event, and then it turned into just a singles tournament. Was it even 8? It was something. It
I
was
believe that was Puerto Rico.
Oh,
Yeah,
Puerto Rico. Yeah. And then Mexico this time around had trouble getting enough teams, or they had enough teams.
Mexico
No,
had a
Mexico's
pretty
really
big
big.
turnout.
Mexico has 40-something teams, I
Yeah,
believe.
Mexico's the
okay.
second biggest one.
Wasn't there
Well,
one
Yeah,
that
Me-
had
Mexico-
10 teams only?
Mexico is always bigger than you remember, and it always has cooler decks than you remember. There's some wild stuff.
They have some hella wild stuff there. I was looking at some of the EU regionals too. Oh my god.
Let me see.
There's some that Batman Ninja top 8.
A Haruhi top 8.
Yeah, it was some decks I never thought I would see in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I thought there was there a tournament that had only 8 teams, or am I crazy or something?
Yes,
That
there
was-
was also a tournament that only had 9 players.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico was
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
Puerto
That was
Rico had
funny.
3 teams.
Sick. Dude, imagine going to that event, going XO, and then in Top Cut you lose your first round. Okay, and that's actually painful. But wait, what? So wait, was there an event that only had 8 teams in it?
Probably a EU one.
Oh,
One of
okay.
the EU ones
Oh,
had
okay,
only
okay.
8. All of them were small. Even the
I think
biggest one was pretty small.
Spain had 8 teams.
Well, does EU
Or
still
something.
have pretty harsh conditions for travel because of COVID, or I don't know?
No, they're pretty free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yikes. Okay. I know they were in inoptimal locations. I remember seeing complaining about that.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or are these new locations for EU? I never paid attention to the EU locations because obviously we don't go there. So
I'm not sure. I just know that people were complaining about where they were.
Yeah, they were pretty like out of the way locations.
that actually
But
really sucks.
hey, it is what it is. Hopefully we actually get the better numbers next year. It seems like hopefully the world's getting to a better spot regarding COVID.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, it seems like they're gonna have singles this year. I'm not sure if it's gonna actually get to Japan because didn't Japan open and close again? Or
I
are
think
they
they
semi
open for guided tourism.
I mean, Japan's open right now. I think my friends in Japan just roaming around. I think so. Who knows?
Oh no, I mean, do they accept like other travelers outside of Japan? Like
Yeah,
freely? Oh, okay. I thought I heard that they were only open for like guided tours, and then like people in the tours got COVID, so they closed it down again. But I don't know.
I didn't hear about that.
It
Yeah.
was I don't know. There's just random news coming out of that side of the world, and I just haven't been paying attention to it. Well, either way, hopefully we get singles this year, so we can all meet up in Japan as usual, and have a lot of fun. But I guess we'll just get into the Texas event. Like we said earlier, we ended up second place. Dan's team ended up, you said 10th, right?
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunate bubble going X2 as well. So for those who watched I think it was the SBTCG stream, heard we were all part of the crazy Weiss house. We had like, how many people were in that, Dan?
It's 16 people in the house.
Yeah,
It was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot of people in that Airbnb. It was a very nice Airbnb. But
It was
a lot of
actually
people.
really sick.
It was really cool to fight people from our Airbnb in finals, especially
That
me
was cool.
versus Kevin because we slept in the same room. But there were a ton of rooms, a ton of different beds. Kevin and I were exiled to the snore room. So
Didn't we have like 3 teams from that house in top 8? Or am I? Or is it only 2?
8 should only be 2.
it was either 2 or 3.
Yeah.
It was
yeah,
2.
it's 2.
2.
I think.
Okay.
So, yeah. Everyone else bubbled.
Yeah, we had a lot of bubblers out there, unfortunately.
Well, every single team was X2.
Yeah. In the house, right? Or
Yeah, now so that
Damn,
was
yeah.
fucking cringe. It
Yeah.
was so sick if everyone made it.
I didn't get to ask this a lot when we were there. Were there a lot of like random team kills? Because I know we played against Pittsburgh's team, right?
Yeah, y'all played against us.
Yeah. Oh shit! Yeah, that when we played against you, what was that, round 5 or something?
That was
Yeah,
Yeah,
was like
there
5 or
the
6.
other
Yeah.
Pittsburgh team.
It was
also
6. It was 6.
It's round 6. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. That was
Yeah.
when I was
Yeah,
on
Tanner.
absolute tilt mode, but yeah.
I think Tanner and Zach got 9th.
Yeah.
They were right there with Dan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were also bubbled barely because they also went X2, right? They beat
Yeah,
us,
they
right?
Just tiebreakers.
Okay. All right. Too much spoilers. I guess we'll just get into the rounds. We'll just go down seat order. I guess Dan, you want to start off yours since you have a one-man team here, and then we'll go through ours.
Yeah, so the event was kind of tragic for me. The games I won were like by a landslide. The games I lost were by a landslide. I didn't really learn much, except for the game against Hanson. That was weird because I was out. What? I was like 2-20.
Yeah.
stuck at 1-6,
Mhm.
and then I had double Ricky in hand. What I did was I double Ricky for double combo to get through the deck,
Yeah,
which
you did that.
yeah, and so I'm still like sitting here. I'm still not. I think it was correct still at the end of the day
Mhm.
because I would have eaten like 30 if I didn't. But it is what it is.
Mhm.
I was playing what? It was the BD mirror match. The round against Burnmon was really funny because it was like a straight quote unquote mirror match down the line. It was hollow hollow, Mushoku Mushoku, Bang Dream Bang Dream.
Yeah.
So I think outside of the Mushoku matchup, we were all running a different CX lineup. Cause what? You were on Rushia, right, Carmen?
Yes, I was.
And then I know Paru was on Hololive,
He was on memory. Yeah.
Memory Hololive, sorry. And then the middle was a 8 standby mirror. I mean, outside of that, I played against UA round like 2 or 3, where I was I was like I was 5-3 and I ate the 2, lost clock. I didn't combo level 1 combo until the 4th turn in the game, and it was just a lot of things like that throughout the game. What was my other loss? Then I lost to my one of the Dallas locals. He always runs the wildest Mushoku builds. Like up till the event, I saw him playing Empty Choice Bar Mushoku, and that he was running Standby Pants Mushoku, and then I think I had an unlucky turn where I triggered a lot, and then ended up 3 and like 25. What was it? And then I couldn't recover from that. Outside that, the ones I won, what I learned about Brain Dream, double Pareo, double Chutu, is pretty much unbeatable by any of the major decks you'll see at the tournament, which I expected was Mushoku Hollow and Bang Dream itself, because people aren't really ready to handle that 15k power line, especially when you back it up with 3k memory kicks. What about you? How did you feel about the 8-door Bang Dream build, Hanson?
I mean, I built the deck kind of trying to beat the Mushoku matchup. Like I was running the level 1 Cosme bombs that like it helped me scale like 2 lanes, and then at level 2 I'm like playing the Choo Choo Parallel, but I'm also taking the 2-1 Rimi bomb. So like the whole game plan is to like try and like win board like every single turn against like these standby matchups, but like unfortunately I've only played against like Mushoku for like a single round, and like that game went horrible for me. I can talk about that later. And instead I played against like 4 different brain dreams the whole tournament, and well, at least like I guess I managed to like win all but like one of the mirror matches, so that was like fine.
Nice. All right.
That's pretty good.
I guess we'll quickly go through our rounds here. We'll just go ABC order, I guess, for our seats. So, what was it? Who was even seat A? Was that Hanson?
Hanson's A. Hanson's A, yeah.
Hanson, you want to start us off?
Yeah,
with round
because
one?
I had to fight Hanson.
Oh, I guess I can start off with round 1. Like I think on my notes I said I play against 8 choice data live. I don't remember much about this matchup, but like I remember my opponent not having the best game ever. I think he was like trying really hard to mill through his deck like all game was just like the on desk Kome Kurumi or something. And like he didn't have like a lot of resources and like only managed to like single Kurumi finisher me at the end. And like I just kind of killed him on the swing back with like Coco Chino.
All right.
Yeah.
my match, I was playing 8 standby Mushoku in B seat, because no one else wanted to play it. So I played against Sao. It was a pants choice. I don't even remember because I just wrote. I was looking at my notes here. I just wrote there's nothing noteworthy about this match. They were like able to remove like all my early plays every turn, but with bottom decks and stuff, but it didn't really matter because I was ahead most of the game and they kind of just ate everything. But if I remember correctly, I think this was round. My opponent was I don't know if they were nervous or something, or like they were a little bit more newer to the game. But I just remember they made a really weird turn one play that like negged them one for no reason, and I was like, oh okay. And then yeah, from that point on, I think that just the game was just kind of like I played cards and my opponent just slowly died. So
Okay. All right, Hanson, you got some background drone going on.
Okay, I can try and fix that.
Okay. So my round one, I played against Persona 5. My opponent did not have a very good opener. He struggled to generate 3 attacks between like 0 and 1. So I kind of sat at 1 for a long time, resolved a couple turns of dog, just searching out cards, kind of waiting. He went to 3. He like slammed down a Joker and hit some good burns and actually like sent me straight to 3-0 after like sitting on my deck and after I double triggered. But it didn't really matter at this point because I just shuffled back 8 with a ton of stock at level 3 and killed him from there. Not a very notable game. Just an unfortunate game for my opponent.
all right. Round 2. We played PGH Weiss here, right?
Yeah, we played.
Yeah.
We played Tanner, Zach, and their Houston pickup. Yep.
Yeah, I played against
Dallas
that,
pickup. Yeah.
Mushoku. Like, I think I'm probably like favored in that matchup, but like in the actual game, like Mushoku got hit to level 1. He set up his like level 1 like double Ares board, and then I triple canceled that turn and like got stuck at 0, and like the game just went downhill to 0. I was like, I had my whole level 1 sculpted, but like I had to like double crash, and then like he just had like too much resources from that point on. And like
Yeah, that's for
yeah.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Dude.
sounds like MTA.
It do be like that. I played against Rushia Pants Choice. Wait, who did I play against? Was it Tanner or did I play?
That would have been Tanner. Yeah.
Yeah. So this matchup I've played a couple times in like when both sets were out in JP and when they weren't out in English, but I didn't like really put any thought into this matchup. And then sitting down against it, I was like, this is gonna be kind of rough because I opt to not play the Spammable Brainstorm in my build. And I just play like 2 was it Cheeries, that profile, and so I'm like always afraid of like being in a position where I'm like, oh crap, I have a bad ratio here and I can't mill myself out. Luckily for me though, the game was basically Tanner just couldn't do crap all game. I don't even think he early played Arusha that game. He just kind of ate everything, and I just sat there and was like, oh, I'm winning by just existing. And unfortunately, there was Tanner just had a really shitty opening, and it just never recovered from there. Never had the stock to really do anything at 2. So, yeah, I mean, what's to say? I don't even know if this matchup is like favored for Mushoku at all. What do you think, Carmen? I assume you've played this matchup a lot.
Yeah, I really think Rushia does pretty well into Mushoku. But I think it just depends on like, how ready they are to have their board broken down at 2. Because at 2, Rushia is probably going to smack it down, even with counters, unless they had a very lucky turn of triggering standbys with them at 2 first.
Yeah.
It's really hard for them to counter over.
Yeah,
but
I figured that I high rolled pretty early while Tanner was losing already because he had a really bad opening, and so like my board was like almost unkillable the entire game. So
yeah, it sounds about right. I played against Bang Dream. This game was pretty tragic for me. I had like a 4-turn game. The game was really fast. I skipped level 1 completely. Wasn't set up. Had to just play down my dog combos and like go get something because I lost all my flares to stock and clock. I remember being in a situation where I had a Choco in hand. It was the only card that I could reasonably ditch to like mill out, and I couldn't because I had to use that Choco to salvage my last flare. Pay it out of stock and grab it so that I had any chance of winning the game at all. I was like about to stabilize. By the time I stabilized on my last turn, my opponent was able to slam down a single Mashiro and put me in a situation where if he triggered, I died basically because my compression was pretty terrible because I was kind of fighting for my life all game. And he did trigger, and I did die. But, I'm pretty sure if that game ran out, I think I was just way too far behind from just having such a terrible opener and skipping level 1. But I mean, like, those games happen. Those games are like you just only have 4 turns. You eat a level every single turn or more. That's just Weiss Schwarz, so that was one of my losses on the day. But a well-played game.
Mm-hmm.
It sucked in round 2 to like run against another one of the teams from our house. Like, doesn't matter who wins. It's a team kill either way.
Yeah, honestly,
sucks.
Houston was like crazy stacked with all the teams because like everyone everywhere flew into Houston because it was like one of the last events of the year. So it was really hard not to team kill random people. So,
it was 52 teams.
Last event in the U.S. specifically.
Yes, specifically that.
So
all right, so round 3.
Yeah, round 3, I played against Book Door Bane Dream. I think it's the Yukina Maguro into the Aya restand. And my opponent was just not having the best game the whole game. He was like triggering a bunch and like eating a bunch of damage. I think he like hit level 3 while I was like still level 1, and like since like Aya doesn't heal, like he just like couldn't like stabilize the whole game and just like kind of died.
All right, I played against 7 Deadly Sins. I'm not super familiar with the set. I've only played against it a couple times, and everyone was kind of like, the set's kind of pretty lackluster, so I've never really paid much attention to it. I ended up playing against a Stock Soul Choice build, and I've never seen the Stock Soul combo before. I think what's the more common build for the level 1 combo?
It's probably the door.
The door.
There's Doors Choice, Standby Choice, 8 Standby.
Yeah.
Are probably the 3 builds you can see the most.
I'm pretty sure I've seen those.
7 Deadly Sins plays Standby.
Sorry, I'm being stupid. I was thinking about Adventure Time for some reason. Not 7 Deadly Sins.
Oh.
Yeah.
it's like door choice, 8 choice, or door bar.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
all of those 3 builds. I've never seen this before, so I had no idea what the hell was going on. I had to read like every time he played a card. I think it was a green combo or something. I had to read what it did. So he played this like 2-1 early play. If you have like, I think the conditions like you have full board or something with the Stockstill combo or battle opponent reverse, you top check 4, add all characters to hand essentially, and it was just a situation where I could not protect whatever lane he decided to put that in because he had a lot of power pumps. So he would just infinitely had like always had 7 card hand at the end of every turn, which was like unfortunate. So the game was super even until my opponent forgot to he forgot to climax swap 1 turn after making a bunch of plays, and then he realized that he had the wrong climax in hand and had the opportunity to climax swap. After that turn, he fell behind because he could no longer beat my board. He fell behind from there, and it just ate a ton of damage because I think during that player's calculations, they assumed they were going to mill 4 more cards out of their deck, and because they didn't, I just got like almost an entire level of damage for free against them, which is really unfortunate from them. At that point, it became almost impossible for my opponent to make it back from that. It seemed like just because the amount of resources they lost there was really rough. But yeah.
All right, my round 3. I played against Hololive. Was not a mirror. I played into Choice Door, Coronet Marine with no memory and no 3/4 event, which was pretty interesting. I'm not sure if my opponent ran Aqua. I never saw any, but that never came down. My game went pretty normally. He did eat quite a bit of damage, and Ruchia is really good in those situations. I don't even remember shuffling anything back. I just kind of healed down by summoning Marines and prepped to tap counter to just ensure that I lived. if you like went for a Maureen turn, because Maureen can always be spooky. Your opponent on like 4 stock can triple you and try to like grind the game back. But he did not have a very good like final level 3 turn, so I was able to like tap to just make sure that have tap ready to make sure that I live. I didn't really have to play it. He was stuck in a situation with a 2 and 6 bottom of his deck where I only had to deal 2 to win the game. He was, I believe, 3-4. And he canceled on 1 on the first swing. I had 4 instances of 2 with the Subaru on the board on my last turn. So there was no real way for him to win at that point. He could not cancel enough to live, especially after canceling on 1. It was just GG. Like, he canceled on 1 and just flipped over his deck and said, you got it. I believe I played against Sin from the Discords. I believe that is who I played against. So I won that game.
Nice. Round
Nice, yeah.
4.
Yes, round 4 I played against 8 Choice Bang Dream. It was like the Nanami choice into like the Hello
Cockroach?
Happy World. Yeah, it's a cockroach.
The spawn from stock.
Yeah, the spawn from stock top end. Like, I think that game I was like eating a bunch of damage early, but like kind of stabilized like mid game, and like it was kind of back and forth. But like at the end, I think it came down to like he was like 6 out, was like a 3-card deck. I assumed like he had some like CXs left, so I like stock swapped him. Turns out both of like those 3 cards were like clean, and he had like 2 CXs in hand. So like I just like missed out on a bunch of like free damage, and like he just canceled in the new deck.
Feels bad.
Yeah.
All right. I played the 8 standby Mushoku Mirror, except my opponent had the green tech cards for the early play Rujerd. My opponent was Hassan from Southern California. I've played him a lot before. He's one of the local players when I used to live in Southern California. I would play all the time back when, I don't know if anyone still watches this channel from that age of Weiss, but back when I was sponsored by Triple Crown, I used to play him at that their store like every week. He's a really good player. We played the mirror match, like I said, but he had the green early play package as like a tech card to beat the Mushoku Mirror. He discarded it right in the beginning, and it was just kind of like I don't want to be here anymore, because he's just in this scenario kind of a better 8 standby deck, just because he's able to destroy my board easily. The game was super tug of war the entire time. We were both fighting for board for the most part, but I knew the second we hit level 2, I'm just gonna lose board. I made a play assuming he could only play 1 early play. Based on what I knew his hand composition was at the time. He proceeded to hit 2 on a brainstorm, so he was able to get the pieces he needed to play the second one. So in that scenario, I made the mistake of on a standby trigger playing the 3-2 support Roxy out, knowing that if he does play 2 Rugerds in 1 turn, it would die. But thinking that he wouldn't be able to, I went with that play instead, just to see if I can kind of high roll. He was able to do it off of the double brainstorm, so he killed my back row support and kind of like broke my board again over and over again. But yeah, it was just at that point it was just back and forth until I was able to what was it? Was this the game where I made the play where I had to choose between burning for 1 or getting the climax of the top? Does anyone remember?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you did.
And you found the climax.
Yeah, so I had it was either play another play Eris burn 1 or play the 3-2 Roxy support that I salvaged the following turn to hopefully get the climax, and I did get the climax for my combo, and then I just burned him out from there. So it was a really really close game. The end was kind of Luxaki for the most part on deciding what I wanted to do there, but it was really well played by Hassan, and then I ended up, unfortunately for him, I ended up winning the match.
You didn't pay you couldn't pay 3 encore at Roxy when you double dropped?
I could have, but like I spent a lot of stock that game because he was destroying my board over and over again, essentially. So I had to like pay stock, because everything in that, if you're not able to play standbys or hit standbys, you just basically have to pay.
You're hemorrhaging stock.
Yeah, you hemorrhage stock all game, and then Yeah, and that's in that scenario, I just couldn't 3-cost Encore if I want to have the following turn to be able to play finishers, essentially.
Okay, my round 4, I played against Kevin Way, who was also in our Airbnb. He was on Kaguya. The game went pretty normally on my end for a Rushia game. My opponent, unfortunately, misplayed their first level 1 combo turn. They refreshed over deck. The second they refreshed and took their refresh point, they realized that they no longer had a grave and could not summon a standby target, which was pretty unfortunate. And from there, I mean, like, Rushia just kind of eats these games up. He refreshed, triggered like a climax or two, and at that point, you know, that's GG. Rushia just really destroys those games. It's almost like a just instant win in those scenarios. I had everything set up. He was mounting a comeback, but I was able to tap counter and just make sure that I live. I could have gambled. I had good enough compression, but I was like, no, I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to tap because I'm so far ahead. Summon double Marine just to heal down, and then swing 3/3/3 because he's a 3/4 and just end out the game. It was pretty unfortunate. But is what it is. I won that game. So we are, at this point, we are 3-1.
Yeah, or 3-1.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Alright,
Moving
round
into
5.
our round 5.
Yep. Yep. Round 5, I played against Choice Gate. Bang Dream was the Lisa top end, and I don't recall like anything special happening this game, but like I think my opponent doesn't have like a lot of stock the whole game, and like he could only like single Lisa me that game, and I was like able to like pull off like double Remy, I think, and like he kind of just died.
I played against Hololive, but it was standby bar Sora build. I played this specific build in Japanese myself a bunch because it was a lot of fun, and to me, this matchup going is like super favorable against Mishoku 8 standby, because it's like once they poop their board out, it's impossible to remove them for the most part, and you always lose board to it. And then every turn they get to do Neg Soul, it just hurts because you don't have a 1k1 to like at least try to like cheat a couple points of damage in.
Shove something through, yeah.
So the deck against standby is amazing. Against eight 1k1 decks, it becomes kind of iffy. The deck is still really, really powerful. If no one's played it, you should try it out. It's a very fun deck to play. My opponent, based on his discard, I knew immediately he was playing that deck since I played it so much, and I was like, damn, this sucks. Luckily for me, I opened up exactly like what I needed to win at level 1 and everything. He pushed really hard early to build some stock, and it put me to like was it 1-4? So I clocked, drew 2. It was able to get a second 1-0. What's her name, Gail or whatever, in my hand, and I only played 2, and as exactly what I needed to set up my board so I could start playing the 3/2s out with my standby instead, because I wanted to double accelerate and then get +2 off of that and start getting 3/2s out on the board. If I do that, it becomes much more difficult for the Sora deck to actually fight me, because I start having like I'm access to my 2/1 counters, which I play multiple of, and then also my 1-0 counters, so I can actually contest the board. And if they triple early play, I at least can threaten sat counter, which I might have had in my hand at the time. I don't remember. But the big misplay I did there, like the big idiot I am, I always, when it comes to like accelerate abilities, sometimes I totally forget the timing for them, and I'll play the climax first and then realize that I forgot to double accelerate. And at that point, I couldn't go back or anything and be like, because I already revealed for the 1/1 Eris combo. And so if I double accelerated and was able to start pumping out like the 3/2s, I think I could have contested the board well enough that it would have been a pretty even match at least, and I at least have a fighting chance. But after that point, I was so far behind on like hand size and everything because I could not contest Sora, and it was just bar every turn. It didn't really matter what happened. I'm pretty sure I lost while he was still at level 2. There was nothing I can do. I just misplayed really bad, and that put me on tilt for like the last couple rounds.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah.
All right, my round 5 played against Mishoku. This was a normal game for me, and unfortunately for my opponent, they had an absolutely terrible game. They never had hand. They could never win board. There's really not much to say. Weiss Schwarz sucks sometimes. Like, it is what it is. Just kind of moved on.
All right, round 6.
All right, round 6. We played against Dan's team, and like he was on like choice gate. Bang Dream was Nanami into the Masho top end, and it was like I think a pretty normal game for the most part. Like Dan said, he had that like very awkward turn where he like tried to like double Ricky into like double combo to like try and mill his deck out, and he kind of spent like a lot of resources, so like didn't have like the best like finishing turns.
Yeah, I couldn't recover.
Yeah, but
Because I know I
Yeah.
double Rickied into an early play in the back row.
mhm.
Because
yeah.
at that point you had your Pareo out already, your 2-2 and Pareo out, so there was no way I was contesting your board.
Yeah. But this guy managed to hit every single Yukino Ricky, bounce back
You
the
did
whole
too.
game.
Neither of us missed.
Yeah. That was pretty fun at least.
All right, I played against the 8 standby Mishoku Mirror again. I was still in tilt mode. I was misplaying a bunch in this match. I've played the 8 standby Mirror enough to know to spend extra resources to get the pop back Rudy that gives power and also rearranges. Usually, if you get that and your opponent doesn't, they're unable to like really fight your board very well. So I got that in my hand, so I felt pretty comfortable. My opponent also got that into their hand. I don't know if they planned that or opened it or whatever. Either way, they also were able to like now make it more even again. But then one turn I forgot to play. I thought I played it from my hand and I didn't. And I asked him, I was like, "Wait, did I play this or not?" Because I was like, "Where did I put power?" And then we realized I didn't put it anywhere. I was like, "Damn, that sucks. I'm bad at this game." So I lost board from there, and then after that, it was just kind of like me chumping all game because I could no longer fight his board, and then I just lost that. And I was on super tilt, and after that, I just kind of took a break and hopefully come back, moving into top 8 with a better mindset.
All right, so my round 6 sat across from my good friend Paru. This was like being back in Jersey, man. I had an absolute like terrible game. I was fighting for my life. I didn't open any good like level 0s, no Mikos, no Aquas, but I did open Shion. And let me tell you, Shion saved my ass at level 0. Shion is such an incredible card. The Shion that swaps your opponent's front row around. That was able to like get me a plus at 0 that if I otherwise did not have, the game would have been completely unplayable because I never saw a choice and had to sandbag all my way to the Rushia turn. I actually never saw Noelle either. I never got like any drop filters at all, no Chocos, no Mikos, which is insane because I run 3 drop searches, 2 drop salvages. Either would have been fine. Had to keep sandbagging. I never actually got Rushia out at 3. I was fortunately keeping up in damage pretty well. And with my Rushia out at 3, Paru's at 3-0 at this point. Paru, unfortunately, has to use all of his resources to avoid like a Rushia blowout turn to mill his deck out. Memory, when they have to sort of turbo to get to their deck, they only have like the Shion Brainstorm and the Botan, and as well as like the Cosma check 3 to really get through their deck. So Paru had to spend a lot of stock, spend a lot of hand, decompress himself quite a bit. I mean, of course, that was the correct play. He had to do that. Otherwise, he would have got shuffle back 8 for like just an absolute free win by me at that point because I was fighting so hard to like stabilize and do literally anything. But at that point, he like does that, gets through his deck. He's in an okay position at 3-1. My only real play is to like summon a Marine with 1 to heal, and then salvage a card just to make sure my tap counter's online. It was a 4-card hand, needed to salvage another character to make sure that I had tap counter to maybe try to live a turn. I believe it was at 3-3 or 3-4, pretty high, level 3. But I was able to just thread the 6 damage on him and kill him after he had to decompress himself. So I was pretty happy with how I played to be able to like get out of that like absolutely terrible first deck. It's like everything not going correctly. It was like exactly like fucking all my rounds in Jersey. Had to do that all day in that tournament. But unfortunately here, this was really the only game where I had to like, spin my wheels and get out of it, and was able to get it in the end. There was some luck involved for sure, but I mean, it's Weiss Schwarz. There always is. Play to your outs. I mean, at that point, we were 5-1, right?
Yep, and we made
got right into top 8 for sure.
Yep, we got 6th place, I think, after they released the top 8 place.
Yeah, sixth place after place.
Yep, and then we beat the hardest boss afterwards, which was deck check.
Yeah, deck check's always spooky.
Thank God.
Especially with Simu. Simu's ruthless.
True. All right.
Simu didn't deck check us this time. It was not.
No, we didn't have Simu, but he was walking around.
His presence spooky. All right. Round 1 of top 8. I guess go ahead.
Yeah. Round top 8. I played against the Stock Soul Gate 7th Deadly Sin. It was like the green 2/1 Stock Soul into like the Hendrickson top end. Like Hendrickson is like pretty spooky. I think it's like on an attack you get like Mocha for 1 and then you burn 4.
That is spooky.
But like I think because of the nature of like the 2/1 combo, he can like only like kind of contest like 1 lane every single turn. And like I think he wasn't able to like answer my like level 2 like choo-choo boards. So like I was able like to kind of like compress myself into like a pretty good deck state and like kind of like just cancel his like Hendrickson swings. So like I just kind of won the match that way.
Nice. All right, I played against. This was a really weird build. I don't know if it's very common. So it was Marine Kanata, but it was 7 stock soul, one bar.
Well, then it wasn't Marvin.
Oh, sorry, not Marine. It was
Luna.
Aki Rose. Is her name Luna?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aki is the 1 bar.
Yeah. I've never seen this before. And then the level 1 combo was the Luna level 1. I had no idea what was going on going into this match, and unfortunately for me, I basically opened 5 climaxes out by the first turn because I triggered as well as like discarded 2. So I was just kind of eating crap all game, and every time they triggered the 2 soul or played a stock soul, I was like, it hurts so much to live. The game was actually kind of close, but the biggest issue was I was able to clear Kanata every time he played it down, but he played them down over and over again at level 2, so he got 4 heals off at level 2, kind of like securing him that safe like lead there from that, which made it so even though I got him to 3 eventually, I wasn't able to really close out the game because I was just kind of like a little bit too far to really push, and I couldn't really play my combos or anything to have like good hand size, so I had to waste all my stock all game on being able to play cards from my hand to be able to even attack essentially, especially when I was like making sure to get rid of Kanata every turn so that he couldn't just play another stock soul and then like gain like 6 stock or something crazy off of a Kanata living. So I ended up losing that game, unfortunately.
I played against Kaguya. We both had pretty normal games throughout, but I really don't think Postman Kaguya can keep up with Hololive. I was in command the entire time. Again, Shion in the clutch. My opponent tried to play down President to get rid of my Rushios. Shion said no. And then Rushio was able to, summon a character with a ton of power and kill the President, because of course they also can't back up, so that card's gone. Didn't have to deal with that. Was actually able to put down Shion a second time to like also make sure President couldn't do anything on the finisher turn either. Just like, I really, that was the game during the day, even more so than like playing against some weirder stuff. Like I said, I played against like Persona 5 or like Kaguya previously, but I felt like this game, I was like, damn, my cards are just better. We're both having okay games. We're both making good plays. But, the matchup's just not favorable. Shion's cracked. Everybody playing Rishia should at least play one Shion. That card's so obnoxious.
Yeah, Kaguya definitely is out of date with the ban list.
They just can't keep up in damage. It's the same thing I always keep saying. It's like if your opponent does not eat every single instance of damage they throw at you on first deck between 0 and 1, you fall behind in damage almost immediately. It's like the one deck where the standby doesn't push damage meme is like true. Because they don't have a lot of like triggers and stuff to keep up damage. Yeah, I won that game. So we move on to our top 4.
Yeah.
Yep. Top 4, we played against Clinton, Riaz, and Connor's team, right?
Yep.
And I was against Clinton on Gatebook Slime. I think this game I drew 3 doors at the start of my game, and because of that I was able to actually triple cost me for 3 turns in a row, and kind of also I wasn't that compressed, but I was able to kind of mill through my deck every single turn and just loop combos. But Clinton was kind of just doing this slimes thing. He compresses and cancels. I think at one point he was he hit 4 off his brainstorm into the new deck and whipped the brainstorm whipped any salvage completely, but still proceeds to double cancel. His deck state was that good. But I think in the end I've also built up a pretty decent compression and kind of just pinned him off with the Cocochinos burn. So yeah, that was that.
We Cocochino still good in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you won your match then?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, awesome. All right. I ended up playing against Riaz, the 2-time. He was playing Choice Pants Mishoku. I've played this matchup a couple times, but usually as the Choice Pants player. The game was super funky for both of us. My first deck had 5 climaxes at the bottom, 6 cards of my deck. It was really dumb. And then Riaz basically just had trouble building any board when he got to level 1 at all. So he proceeded to eat a bunch. I proceeded to eat a bunch. Also, I was very confused why I was okay, I'm only out 2 climaxes at this point, and this is my second turn or whatever at level 1. I should at least trigger some climaxes. So I set up my board to trigger climaxes and attack in the order, assuming I was going to trigger any climaxes. Didn't hit any climaxes. I was like, this is a really dumb game. On my first decks, when I had the 5 climaxes in the bottom of my deck, and I drew 2 climaxes and then proceeded triple trigger standby, that was not fun. I only refreshed with 4 climaxes that turn. But even though I only refreshed with 4 climaxes, the very next turn I killed Riaz. So this was payback. If anyone remembers the first time Riaz and I ever played each other in New Jersey, my turn 2, I was with Sunshine. I was level 2, 2-1 or something, with only 2 stock, and so this was clearly payback for that. Unfortunately, Riaz, yeah, like I said, took all that and lost that game.
Unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
I played against Connor of Connor's English Corner. He was playing Hall Live. He was playing Fubuki into Roboco-Door. Pretty wonky build. Our openers were pretty standard. 0 for a Hall Live mirror. Pretty standard level 1. Except he is still at level 1, and I am at level 1 as well. We are both at high level 1. I have played to put myself at 2 first, so he is swinging into me. I am going to 2. Connor takes a gamble. There is a climax left in his deck with 4 cards. He plays down a bar, goes for combo, does some stuff, and he triggers the door on his last attack. And I go, okay, well, the gamble didn't pay off. I did the Rishia thing. I did extend at this point. At this point, I do the thing that I normally do with Rushia when my opponent makes this mistake, where I start burning all my resources to race, because Rushia can run so lean, especially with the hand on core, that you pretty much always win these races, especially with tap counter, with the ability to refill your hand, to have tap counter ready to go. So I blow a lot of resources to make sure that I can shuffle that back. So I shuffle back 4 instead of summoning another Rushia. I like end up having to crash a lane, but I do get out. I put him at like 2-4, 2-5, pretty high level 2. He is playing the Roboco merge, so like I'm not really very scared of that card as Rushia, because it was funny. He thought that, you know, dragging up my flare and killing it would be enough for his Robocos to like challenge for board. That was not true. Rushia with absolutely no power and just a anti-change or tap counter backup, even if you don't use the other effect, is actually enough to stop Roboco from doing anything, because without auxiliary power pumps, she does not get over 12-5 with Climax down. It's pretty pitiful numbers there. So Connor was not able to push any extra damage, which is what I considered when I went for the race. I was just like, okay, I'm just going to blow my resources every turn to race Connor and kill him, because he took the gamble that he wouldn't trigger the Climax, leave the Climax at 1, that my shuffle back 4 wouldn't do anything. He lost the gamble, so I'm just going to try to race him, because I'm not going to pretty much ever take these Roboco burns. I think I took 1 all game, even though he, you know, did the merge thing that merge decks do, where they are basically always able to shit out their merge cards again for 1 stock. They pretty much can always do it if their deck is built correctly, which Connor's was. I refreshed with only 4, but I still triple cancel anyway. My deck was like reasonably small. It wasn't like completely unreasonable, but it was still a high roll. And at that point, the game was just over. I just had tap counter. He like tried to go in for a desperation turn. I tap countered him, killed him. The other thing, I think the game was basically lost when he took the gamble, lost the gamble, unfortunately. And, you know, Rushi is just better at racing in those scenarios, because they don't really care. Especially when your opponent can't get Roboco reverses, no matter what they do, as long as your opponent has a counter. So we swept that round, right? Everybody won?
Yeah, I didn't realize we swept that round. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we move on to finals.
Ooh, against our boys from... it was an completely SBTCG team, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Handsome.
So yeah, I played against Ryan playing the Memory Hololive Choice Door. I think like he was like eating a bunch of damage like in the first deck. Like I was able to like get him to like mid 2s like during my level 1 turn, and like, but like I think the fun thing is like he was able to like double heal at like level 2 to like kind of stabilize and like kind of push back the damage. And then I think then I proceeded to like ate a bunch of shit like at level 2 and like got hit to 3 first. And at this point, like I had like double Remy and like double Remy set up, but like Ryan healed down to 2-3, so I was like, I probably couldn't kill him from that point. So what I proceeded to do is like I play down my Fumio, shuffle back like 9 clean cards, and like play down 2 of my like climax the on reverse Komeis and slam the CX, trying to like push some damage so I can maybe like go into like a single Remy the following turn. But like unfortunately I proceeded to like double trigger and like that turn, and now I'm out a bunch of CXs, and like I hit Ryan to like low level 3s, but the cool thing is like like Ryan is able to like double Marine with only 3 stocks, so like I just died there from double Marine when he only has 3 stocks.
Yeah, Mari's a really cool card.
Yeah, they can just always try to eat you.
Well, you only need you need 3, exactly 3.
3 for double,
Yeah.
Why couldn't Ryan be CB? All right. I ended up playing against Jason of SBTCG. playing against Choice Pants. What is it? Bang Dream?
Big Dream.
Bang Dream, yeah.
All right, honestly, I've never read these cards before, really. I've only seen the deck be played, and I've never played against it or seen a Mushoku matchup against it. I had no idea the 2-1 is literally unkillable. What the hell? It's like 15k? I was like, oh, I guess I just start losing board now. I don't... Go ahead.
No, I was saying Jason and I spent a lot of time talking
Yeah.
about Big Dream and how to beat Mushoku with it.
Yeah, it did not help that I had to like read every other card because I was like, oh shit, what is going on here? So I was like, well, that's unkillable. At one point, I tried to set up a board with standbys, like putting Paul in front row and stuff like that off of triggers and things like that. And then I did not realize the back row has a what is like pay one tap, ditch a card, bounce. I was like,
No,
oh,
you don't tap. You can spam.
oh, you can spam it? Okay, whatever, dude. I was like, oh, Paul's back in my hand, so now I can't even cheese for extra damage on my opponent's turn. This sucks.
Yeah. It was that card is so good.
Yeah, so the game was like, I think the game was kind of even. Jason was probably had like a bit of an edge that in the early game mid part because I just kind of had no idea these things were like tools Bang Dream had access to, and unfortunately, in the middle of our game when we were both level 2 and like kind of coming up to the finishing turns coming up, both of our teammates, both of his teammates obviously won, so they were being really hype, and so he knew he had the game in the bag already, and we just kind of at that point we finished out the game as a formality. We didn't put as much thought into the game at that point, and we just kind of just did things, and then I ended up winning that game. But yeah.
My game against Kevin was so tragic. It was unfortunate to like get hit by variance right at the end, but you know, Weiss is Weiss. I drew up for turn. I drew 3 climaxes and 2 level 3s. I threw everything except a choice, throwing 2 pants to grave. I drew up another choice, another pants, and 1 Miko. Thankfully, I had a playable going first. Slam down the Miko in the center, so he has to have 2 Rudies. Kill it. Kevin has 2 Rudies, and I go, okay, whatever. We'll find some other level 0s. We got 4 Aquas in the deck left. We got 2 more Mikos. We got stuff we can do. Proceed to draw. It's a level 3. I clock one of the choices that's still in my hand. Proceed to draw another choice and a level 3. I have no playables. I am forced to slam choice and pass, and as well as discard for hand size. So I had 1 attack between 0 and 1, and drew a bunch of CX and was super out. Kevin was free to set up his board. I was able get some semblance of a level 1 turn off after that, but the game was pretty touch and go from that point. I did set myself up to go to 2 first, because, you know, I'm forced crash lanes. He's still level 1. He still has climate deck. I'm okay. I'm going to slam. My opponent's still going to be at 1. I'm probably going to go to 2 because I'm super decompressed. There's almost no way I don't. I have all these climaxes at hand. At least I'm ready to go. So I do that. Kevin makes the correct play, seeing that I'm behind, seeing that things are going terribly. He makes a play to lock me at 1-5. I still have some Aquas left in my deck because I never drew any, so there was a chance I was able to clock myself, but I would have had to draw it naturally because all 4 of my Azasas were also engraved, so I couldn't mill out to like give myself some extra damage that way, and I was just kind of locked and had to sandbag. I did slam again to just try to equalize the damage, try to claw the game back. Going into the end game, like high level 2, level 3, I was able to at least have some sort of showing, kind of crack back, but at that point, I'm just so far behind. Kevin's so completely set up. There's almost nothing I can do at that point to claw the game back, and unfortunately, I lose. So it sucks for that to happen in finals, but I mean, it's Weiss. It is what it is. I think personal record on the day, I went like 7-2, which I was pretty happy with, especially with a deck like Rushia. I think people don't give that deck like enough credit for being as consistent as it is. But I'm happy that I was able to like get there, give it a very good showing yet again.
Oh, I don't think people are saying it's bad. They're just saying it's fragile.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I really don't think it's as fragile as it is. The games that I lost, I would have lost with any other build of Hololive. It was literally due to drawing too many climaxes or just eating damage that I never should have. And it was never due to like the deck strategy having some level of fragility that was higher than other decks. I think that part of Rushia is super overblown by people that just do not like the combo for some reason. Just like trying to find reasons to dislike it.
All right. So, yeah, we got our second place there, unfortunately. Even though we tried really hard to get that first, it's still a really great run by all of us. What was my record? 6-3, right? You went 7? Yeah, so I went 6-3, and then I think...
Yeah, I also went 6-3.
Yeah, so
I was the carry.
The true carry.
Yeah, Rushia was the carry, dude. I went in and said, like, oh, we did... Everybody's hating on Rushia. And somebody was like, oh, who carried your ass all day? And I was like, bro, I was the carry. Step off.
But like, Rushia got second. Memory got first.
Yeah, well, you know, if Ryan sat across from Kit, it would have been a different story. Trust me. My heart did sink a bit when we sat down, and I was like, "Oh no, Kit's not against Ryan. This is going to be hard." And little did I know how hard it would be.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny that Ryan, I think it was on the SBTCG stream, said that they won at seat placement, not because of the decks or anything, because everyone just like dodged their like demon. It was pretty funny. The entire trip was a lot of fun though. The house was actually insane. I can't believe there was that many people there and everything.
It was a really good time.
Yeah, the lazy boy I slept in was pretty good. Almost as good as a really comfy bed.
Oh yeah, that house was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Dan
really
did a
great.
good job finding a really good Airbnb.
Absolutely. Oh man, but yeah, Texas was great. That was the last U.S. event for teams. I'm glad that was like the biggest one too. It was really cool seeing so many different people from all over the U.S. and Canada and stuff.
Yeah,
like
not
that.
just U.S. Canada too.
Yeah,
People.
Yeah, this one was what
I've been talking with online for the last 2 years.
This was 52. New Jersey was 53.
Yep.
So
Yeah, the crazy part was there were only 56 teams. I say only, but there were 56 teams and only 4 teams dropped.
yeah,
And I know what. So one of the teams was actually my friend's. His flight got delayed. He was showing up Saturday night. His flight got delayed because there were no available pilots.
oh, that sucks.
Right, so he didn't show up until like 4 hours after the event started.
Well, hey, Burn One put up tops at both of the biggest Springfest this season, so
Yeah,
that was nice. Yeah, really good showing, guys. I made a real sappy tweet about it afterwards, but I was very happy with how we all did. I think
how dare you
proud.
have feelings?
I think we should be very proud of how we performed.
We did great. It was a really fun season, especially since we had such a long break due to the COVID and all that. So I was really happy.
Yeah, it was good to really see everybody in person again. That was the best part.
Yeah, Texas was insane.
Yeah.
Just meeting so many people I've never seen a face and stuff before. So I had no idea who I was talking to, but I recognized people's voices and stuff. I was like, oh my god, there's just too many people here.
Yeah, a ton of people showed up. It's awesome.
It just reminds me of the time because Brian tells a story sometimes when he first met Cameron. Cameron just walks, "Oh hey, I know you from Discord," and Brian's just like cringe.
And I have a similar Cameron story actually. Cameron came up to me at a Japanese local. I had never met him before. He comes up to me and says, "Yo, bro, I'm playing your deck." And I go, "Oh, sick. Oh, you're playing Shiraha?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm excited to try it." And then he walks away and I go, "Wait, who was that again?" I like turned to Kit and I was like, "Who's that again?"
Oh man. Yeah, there's just it's just so many people.
Very funny.
Yeah. All right, that's kind of wraps up our Texas run and everything. I'm really happy we did all that.
Oh yeah, shout outs to the people who stayed at the locals after the AC went out.
Holy shit! I forgot
I
about that.
toughed it out, dude.
I stayed there too.
I
That was a
bubbled.
mistake.
Yeah.
I bubbled from top 8.
Dude, I ate shit the entire day and was like, it was such a mistake. I should have went back to that.
I was
house.
playing Ruby. Who did I lose to? I lost to like Broderick and
Yeah.
somebody else. Like I lost against in matches where it just like terrible things happen. Ruby without a climax is a Something I wish on no one.
Yeah, should have went back. I missed out on the udon carbonara because of that Satch.
Right, fucking
Oh, I
karma.
know.
Oh, thank God I missed out on the udon carbonara. I never want to see that. Everybody kept talking about it, and I was like, that is an affront to both Italian and Japanese cooking. Should
It's
never
just really
exist.
funny because like on the menu they have the section like Italian dishes. They had like they had the udon carbonara. They had this diavolo, I think was the pasta sauce, and then they had Texas toast in that section too.
Texas toast. What the?
Yeah,
It
glad
was
I'm
all over the place.
happy to miss that one.
It was 4 Italian dishes except like udon Japanese twist on it, and then they had Texas toast at the bottom.
All right. So then we do have like 1 or 2 small things to talk about right here at the end. I don't think we're going to end up doing a second video for it at any time or anything, but the Japanese ban list was updated. What are you guys' thoughts on that stuff? Other than Grisai is now free.
It's 2020 Weiss all over again, bro. We're playing Saikon, we're playing Grisaya. Decks are making memories. Standby doesn't exist. It's all that all over again, dude. It's wild.
So I know I was super hyped that Grisaya got off the ban list completely, so now I can just put everything in the memory and then lose games anyway. What about you guys? Was there anything that was super excited that came off the ban list for you?
I mean,
South 10th.
Unban, South 10th, and then Swing to 3, Marika to 3.
South 10th is
Sorry,
fun.
Why don't they just unban Marika? Why is it like every ban list they're like take off one more, nothing changes? Is anyone actually out here playing Nisekoi because Marika's like will be at 4?
I don't know.
The deck never triple market anyway. What was the problem?
Yeah.
Like no, not functionally different at all. But ban list is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I think
it was just all like a bunch of stuff was taken off, and there was only Superstar was banned, or the ban was rearranged, or whatever.
no, thank God. Get rid of that deck.
That deck was actually just toxic.
I mean, it was slightly more inconsistent with like the clock and course like hit, but
Oh, I don't care. I
once
think
you get there, it's still pretty disgusting.
I think people that want to play that deck should just go play Magic, Modern, or Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's okay. When it gets released in English, I will play it on our Trios team. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, I never want to play against that deck ever again.
Yeah.
I
we
thankfully
have
have only
ones
played
here?
against it a minimal amount of times, but like, Jesus Christ, that deck is
It's
that deck is
toxic.
cancer. Like I gotta disagree with you. I know you were talking about like, oh well, like Bushiroad doesn't want like unique decks to exist, but like unironically, I think that if you want to play that kind of deck in a card game, you should literally go play a different game. I think it's like the most least Weiss Schwarz thing ever and should not exist.
I think that's fair. I just don't like that. It feels like I think that deck was egregious, but I feel like if anything is outside of the absolute, like you play 3 finishers and they all do like burn 2 or something, they end up banning it or doing something weird, and then I feel like, okay, we're all just playing 8 1k1 decks, or we just play 8 standby.
so-
That's all we got.
I mean,
I think part of it is because you don't remember the unique decks that are just bad.
yeah, there are fun decks, but they just can't be good.
Yeah, I guess that's that is it. It's just there are a lot of fun decks. Like I play a really shitty, like I played a bunch of early play level 3s what's it, Maid Dragon deck at level 1 because it's funny, and sometimes you win games if the level 3s live like 2 turns in a row and you're like, ha, now my opponent's lost.
And then
the
you
game.
have like that Saikano Heal to Level event deck with all the early plays.
Yeah,
So like the unique decks are there. It's just that whenever they're good, they're egregiously good.
To be fair, that level event thing, I actually would play that in a real tournament, but then it got banned indirectly because of the other Saikano deck. I was like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah,
But you can play in English now.
Oh shit, you're right. I just gotta
You
wait
can,
for
yeah.
2 decks to come out.
set 2.
If set 2 comes out for singles and it's like viable, I'll fucking play it. That deck was a lot of fun. It is so funny.
I think I would bring like unbanned Saikon on a single if it existed. I think that deck's
I would
super
too.
disgusting.
Unbanned Saikano is actually just disgusting. Banzai Kano with set 3 support would also be amazing in English.
Oh, true. Well, the assumption right now is all 3 sets are coming to English, right? So
Very probably slowly, but they
Slow.
probably will.
Well, because they did some of them fast.
That's what we think.
It
I
depends,
think
right?
they're trying to avoid the Magireko situation where they released both boosters next to each other. And
yeah, that was kind of somewhat cringe because like if they released one of them and just seen like the sales and how the reception was, maybe they would have not done the third one because like Magic Record basically had no splash at all into the scene.
It was dead on arrival.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, it was
The people who were
unfortunate.
playing it were, it's not a bad deck, right? It has a game plan, and the game plan is just not good enough sometimes.
It definitely had it in Japan. In Japan, it definitely did have its like small bubble of window of like a month, maybe 2 months of like this deck was viable and it was fun to play. But when it
Yeah.
came out in English, the meta was just so far gone from what it was that it just
Because
had
it
no
was
chance.
one of the only refresh loop decks.
Yeah, it had a very
Yeah.
unique game plan.
I think back then Fate just got hit, so like yeah.
Yeah, it was like outside of Fate, which is the only other one I think.
Yeah, I remember calling
Oh,
it mini
yeah.
Fate a lot when it was a thing.
Nisekoi.
Hey, what about Nisekoi?
I think it was just like the few free fresh decks.
Oh yeah. What else did they add onto the ban list? Was there anything else that was weird, or I don't remember really?
I mean, Gochi got unhit.
Oh yeah. All the Gochi fans very hyped for that, I assume. So Tin
Mhm.
excited, I assume.
Still waiting on for Ding Jin to get freed.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah. And also Quince and Mushoku got hit, right?
Oh yeah. The Mushoku
Yes,
hit
Quinn's
was
got hit with the Neg Soul, Ichika Brainstorm, and the
Filter thing.
Yeah.
Filter, Better Cowgirl. That card is sick.
And then Mushoku was the 2/2 Gel or the rest counter.
No, it's
Or
the
tap counter?
2/2
Tap counter,
Gile,
yeah.
and then the
Yeah.
tap counter.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah. What do you guys think of that? I think that was just like a little love tap to the deck. Definitely
I mean,
makes
yeah,
it less.
because like Mushoku was kind of falling off of the
2/2 Gile
meta,
Killing
so
choice.
I think this isn't that bad. It's not that harsh, but
Mhm.
yeah, it probably doesn't need to be more harsh.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I wonder if they're gonna port that ban list to English at some point because Mushoku.
oh, they probably will.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
wouldn't
a
be
nice love
surprised.
tap.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did it before singles for no reason, which would be unfortunate because I think the Mushoku quote unquote problem will fix itself.
It wouldn't be no reason. Mushoku does have like a disgustingly high rep during the Springfest
It
season.
does, but it's also trios. But I guess Japan also based on trios results.
Yeah,
So.
trios are official tournament results.
Yeah, it's kind of egregious how like almost every team had 8 standby Mushoku. It was just kind of like the rock of every team, or like at the rock of the format. Like this is what everything's like based around.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if for the Quince though, do you think they're gonna do anything about that in English? There's no way they'll touch it, right?
Right.
What, like a pre-ban?
Not a pre-ban, but
Right.
hopefully not something weird where like Quince sees a lot of play, but it's like pretty whatever, kind of like Kaguya, and then Kaguya got hit like suddenly, and we're like, what?
Oh, I think 8 Standby Quince is going to get the shit played out of it, actually.
I think it will
Yeah.
too. I think it's a really
It's Stay
good
by
deck.
Quince is actually disgusting.
Yeah.
I want to be the Danmachi player, not the Quince player. I never really enjoyed playing 8 Standby Nino. I think that deck is people talk about 8 Standby being like brainlet. I think 8 Standby Nino is one of the only times it's ever been true. I think that deck is the smoothest brain deck I have ever piloted. You literally sit there, your opponent tells you a number, you think, would I like to take that number? And then if the answer is no, you play the bracelet. And then you continue on with your life. And that is the entire deck. I don't think it requires more than a single brain cell, maybe even half a brain cell.
Yeah, Hololive and Mushoku were the top two.
Yeah.
Played
Well,
decks.
Hololive at least has a variety of builds, which is really cool. That's why I like
Mhm.
Hololive as a set because you can
Okay.
sit down and there's like 5 different good builds and none of them feel
I
egregious.
mean, I played against the standby pants Mushoku, you know? That was
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 it
the deck?
4-4 or was it 2-6 or
It
what
was
was it?
4-4.
Ooh, that's weird.
Oh, that's pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Eris and Roxy. It was
Eris is a good combo.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's less spicy when you just consider Eris as like a standalone decent combo.
Yeah.
It is, but then it becomes a lot less valuable, right? Because you're not opening up board slots throughout the game like a normal 1K1 deck is.
Mhm.
We have anything else we want to talk about?
I think the last thing is just this is kind of PSA. Like, apparently, some of the old sets that had serial codes have duplicates. So there's like 2 of a number 8 card. It
This
was
Prince,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw the Big B video on that.
Yeah. So if you guys want more information on that, go check out Big B. He does videos on the market and like collecting and all that stuff for Weiss. He has interesting
Mhm.
stuff. He's definitely not like a player channel, but more of like how the market's moving and all that stuff. If you're interested in that, and
Collecting and financial, yeah.
yeah. So if you're interested in that stuff, really go check him out. He does really good work. And then there was one other thing that just got posted. I remember, and I just want to make a note about it too. Let me see if I can find it really quick.
Oh yeah, and then there's also Fall Circuit.
Oh yeah, false.
Yeah.
Fall Circuit got
There's
confirmed.
yeah, but there's no dates or anything yet. It's just
No
it's
dates,
happening.
locations, anything. Worlds got confirmed. Little inside info. Ria's got confirmed that his previous invite from the last World is still good.
Oh, really quick too. I think I saw someone say earlier that they kind of talked about with Japan being semi-closed, the worlds might be in Taiwan. If that happens, that'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, I
Yo,
could see it.
I can go visit my family in Taiwan. That shit would be hype. I also never been to Taiwan, so it'll be pretty cool. Either way.
What's Taiwan?
Taiwan's the other island that China.
Why? I think you mean China.
Oh yeah, China, the China island.
Yeah.
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 Just some humor
yeah.
here. We like to make jokes.
And
We're
then,
gonna play, bro.
Bro.
Wait, was there a joke?
oh yeah, the BRO. I'll try to
BRO.
play, even though I hate playing online, because apparently they're getting special promos only for BRO, and I'd like to try to win them.
Yeah, it's when is BRO again? Is Don Machi out for it?
August 20th.
August 20th.
Don Machi's out next month, so yes.
Yeah, I might play in it just to get some tournament chops with Don Machi.
Is Quince out?
Fall.
I
Or
don't
bro?
know.
Don't think so. I don't think Quince is.
I am
Let me
playing
check.
Danmachi. Let's go.
Yeah, I
Machi
kind of
game,
want to
I'm
get
also playing Don
some. I
Machi.
kind of want to get some Don Machi tournament testing.
I'm waiting for my case. As soon as I get it in, just GG easy.
Quince is out on August 12th.
I don't know if it'll be legal because you know how they like to wait.
It's 2 weeks usually.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
only.
I guess we'll see what happens. But maybe
'Cause I
because it's
remember
online,
Hololive-
they'll allow it. Was
Hololive just barely made the cutoff for New Jersey. It was like by one.
Yes.
But we shall see. I definitely am considering doing it just to get some tournament chops with Don Machi if I feel like I need to. But unfortunately, I do not want to play online either. I actually think it's kind of fucked up that Bro doesn't have unpaid invites to Worlds on the line for top 3 because it is the only opportunity for a lot of people to compete.
Yeah.
I think that's really messed up. I understand that like in a post like Vince world.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Like maybe they did plan unpaid invites, but then this happened, and they're like,
Yeah, I mean, at least unpaid invites, right? It wouldn't be that big of a deal, but like, I don't know. It just kind of sucks because I think Bro is like a great opportunity for a lot of really good players to get an opportunity to compete and strut their stuff.
Yeah, especially ones who don't have events near them. Oh, Hanson, mute your mic. All right,
Yeah, Hanson, I don't know what's going on.
All right, the last question we're gonna leave. This is what I was gonna ask you guys before we leave. You guys think they're gonna censor Maid Dragon runner from
Oh, yeah,
the center
100%.
runner from the TD?
Connor did have a tweet. Hold on, let me check. Connor had a very implicating tweet. Let me find it here. Boats don't say.
The boob to
What did
card
he
ratio
say?
is
He
not
said,
is too big.
Since I
clearly.
haven't seen anyone mention this, I hope that this is another case of boosted just copy pasting without double checking. But TD Plus should have 20 cards, not 19. But the website and order sheets list 19, as well as 19 parallels, which mean that not getting the center runner at all
Oh,
would
that's
be
actually really bad.
would be
Yeah.
omega cringe because
That's like the best.
that
card in the
is
set.
that is one of the best
It's
cards
the
in
strongest
the
card
set.
in the set.
It is the
Mhm.
strongest level 0, and it's not close. So, yeah, that would be really, really unfortunate if that ends up being the case. I hope that is just a mistake. But who knows?
Dang, yeah. I hope that is a mistake too. It makes me less interested. Like I was gonna pick up the set anyway just because I like Maid Dragon and I'd be able to play it at random English events like at locals. But I mean, yeah, I really don't like to support. Personally, I don't like if they change weird things like that or just cut cards.
I
that
don't like
don't-
supporting
yeah.
censorship in general.
Yeah, like even if they change the card art, yeah, sure, maybe I'll still buy into it. But like, just removing the card too is really, really bad in my opinion. I did not.
Yeah,
see that.
removing the card would be the worst possible thing you could do.
All right.
And to be honest, I think they have printed equivalently or far worse things into English anyway.
Oh,
I
they
would
definitely did.
I would call every single Contai foil more egregious than the Toru runner. By
Tuloru's in
TLR.
English.
and like any TLR card. Have you seen that 1/1 event? Like, come on, Yami's like 12. Like,
Yeah.
you cannot.
Well, she's an alien.
Yeah,
Yeah, aliens don't
It's-
have age of consent.
I
That's
do
all
I
it
do
is.
not I do not like
Jesus.
Look,
supporting
Cardi.
censorship, but I think that would be the worst possible thing. Would be removing that card entirely.
All right, I think that is it for us. So we're gonna call it quits here, guys. Thanks for joining us. For those that stayed around this long, it's been a lot of fun. Hopefully, we get some more videos out soon. Any
Yeah.
shout outs before we leave?
Shout outs to SBTCG for winning the tournament.
Yeah,
Shout outs to Bird
them.
One.
Shout out to the Pittsburgh boys
Shout outs to
for we had Zach on our team in New Jersey and topped, and then they did really well in Houston as well. They were right on that bubble.
the Canadian boys coming down to Houston.
Yeah, it was awesome. All the good Houston food. Fuck the Houston heat. Fuck the Houston weather. Holy fuck, I could never live there. But at least you guys eat well.
Yeah. Shout out to Carbon making the car AC negative 10 degrees. So when Hanson and I walk out of the car, we were blinded by.
Oh yeah. They would step out of the car and their glasses would instantly go fog. Because I was just like, Cameron, I am turning your AC to negative levels. The state is godless.
That was pretty funny. Oh, also shout out to what was that ice cream place we went to with the
Oh,
taiyaki?
Somi.
Yeah,
Oh
Somi
my
Somi
God,
was
Oh,
good.
that place is great.
Oh,
We went there 3 times, I think.
yeah, it was really good. I only got to go once, but it was great. I appreciated it. Every time I go there, I'm going to go there now. All right.
Yeah.
We're done here, guys. We'll see you guys in the next cast whenever that happens. Goodbye.
Peace.